So Endgame has released, we've made it into the month of May, and that means it's time to stop and look back at April and talk about what I picked up. Before I get started, go ahead and tell me, what did you pick up in the month of April? Share it down below in the comment section. Also, if you're new to my haul videos, they're very different from my usual stuff that are fast-paced, heavily edited. These ones are much more relaxed, my personality, usually shot in just one take, talking about the fun stuff that I picked up so you can kind of get to know me just a little bit better. Before I start talking about stuff, as we're talking about the month of April, I've just got to say this. April was the best month in my channel's entire history for like every reason possible. First up, I hit 100,000 subscribers, so thank all of you so very much for making that happen. It happened, I wasn't even able to do like a live stream or any videos about it because it happened right there with when Endgame was coming out, so I've just been so busy, I haven't been able to stop to do it. I thought I'd do a live stream, but I didn't want anyone sharing spoilers in the live stream in the chat board or anything like that, so I haven't done anything about it. Sometime this month, I'm gonna pause and finally reflect back on hitting 100,000 subscribers. Thank you so much for making that happen. But beyond that, based on every metric you've got, watch time, views, all of it, subscribers added, April was my best month. And thank you guys so much for watching the videos, liking, sharing, commenting, all the things that you wonderful people do. You made that be the best piece of this whole haul was you guys' gift to me and making it an amazing, life-changing month for me. And it's only kind of getting a little bit better. Tomorrow, I'm heading off to Dallas for Fan Expo. It's a Comic-Con out there, a pretty big one. It's got all the cast of Smallville, Kiefer Sutherland, and then all of Back to the Future, and a million other people there too. And I'm actually teaching a panel at it on how to do YouTube. So just a few updates on how things have been. Like, April was phenomenal of all the way these pieces kind of came together. With all of that said, let's start talking about my pickups from it. We'll start with a little one that I picked up just a couple days ago. Independence Day. Now, I have, of course, owned this on VHS for 20 years. I've owned it on DVD for 15 years, but I never picked it up on Blu-ray. And I figured that out like last year whenever I went to go watch it, and I was like, wait a minute, I've only got, oh, God, can I get there? There we go. I've got the second one. I just pulled that whole shelf out. I've got the second one, but I don't have the classic original one. Just an enormously fun blockbuster. If you're kind of a, one of my younger fans and you haven't seen the original Independence Day, you should go check it out. It's kind of what, a lot of it is what launched some of the big scale city destruction that we see in so many comic book movies now. A lot of that started with Independence Day, where the technology got to the point where you can actually blow up buildings and cities and stuff, and it looks convincing. Classic Will Smith in his absolute prime. He was a star, but like, not just a star, but megastar. That's the one that promoted him. And then likewise, Jeff Goldblum, top form, Bill Pullman in top form. It's a really good blockbuster. The first hour is a little bit slow by modern standards, and then it just kind of keeps building momentum as you go along. It's a classic one. Speaking of absolute classics, The Predator. If you're not aware of this, I had this one on my most anticipated list going into last year. Very pumped for it. Shane Black doing a Predator movie. All that sounds amazing. The end result was not so amazing. I actually, my wife, it came out right after we had our latest child, our third child. And so my wife's still in the hospital with the baby when this movie came out. And I left her in the hospital all by herself to go watch the movie. And so she's crying, begging me not to leave. I was like, I gotta go do my job. And that didn't happen. She was totally cool. There's people where it was all cool. But I actually did. I left her at the hospital after I had her baby to go watch this movie. It was not worthy of that. It's not a movie good enough for that. But she still hasn't seen it. And, we've always watched the Predator movie, so she needed to check this one out with her. And I'm enough of a completionist that I have to have the latest one. And it's not a boring bad movie. It's a bad movie. It's got problems. It's all sorts of, you can see all the redesigning and editing. I mean, it's a fascinating bad movie because of how much was changed. Think how little some of it makes sense. And you can like see where just whole subplots are pulled out of the movie, but they left lines in, and fascinating film. So I'm actually kind of excited to watch it again now that I've read so many articles about what went on behind the scenes. Then we've got The Princess Bride. My wife actually picked this one up. She isn't normally the one to go out buying movies, and she was out at like Best Buy or something and was in the mood to watch something, and she got the bug for like buying movies. She's like, oh wow, these movies are so cheap, now I get why you buy them sometimes. So she picked this one up basically just on a whim. She just saw it there cheap and she went, I gotta have this, which is, I mean, that's exactly why I did this. So I'm not picking on her, but she's joining in my world of buying random crap for random reasons. Next up, this was actually one she purchased with Princess Bride. Crazy Rich Asians. I really like this movie. It's such a pleasant surprise. One of the best kind of like romantic comedies of the last several years. It's not like a Adam Sandler rom-com, Matthew McConaughey, Reese Witherspoon rom-com. It's not like that type. It's a little bit more serious, grounded. It's still funny, but the tension, the drama are a little bit more organic and ties into cultural differences. It's not just like this high concept, what if these two people had a bet placed on them and started dating? It's not that stuff. It's all much more kind of grounded, but just still has all the laughs, a lot of deep emotions, romantic. It's got all the different things that you want from a rom-com. So if you're into that kind of thing, check this one out. If you got a lady friend or something, someone else in your life that likes romantic things, you got to check this one out. Then we've got Glass, another one. My wife hasn't seen this one yet either. I've got a couple of these. I just realized I bought them for the reason that she hadn't seen them, to watch them with her, or to of course I'm going to pick up Glass, but I still haven't watched them with her yet. So now I know what we might be watching tonight, one of these ones. But so Glass. I never rewatched it. I saw it the one time in the theater and I was like, okay, there's things about this I love. There's things about it I do not love. Now I own it. I need to rewatch it and see if time, with proper expectations, knowing where it's going, if it sits better with me, or if I'm just going to be just as frustrated with some plot points. I'm not really sure where I'm going to fall on it, giving it a second watch. And I have, pretty good idea how my wife's going to feel on this one, with where some of it goes in the third act. Final Blu-ray pickup of the month, Bumblebee. Such a pleasant surprise from last year after, I don't know, a decade of whatever that is that Michael Bay's been giving us. I mean, it's a lot of something. It's energetic, but I wouldn't say it's good. And then you get this really heartfelt, emotional, very human, sort of like E.T. in its own way, Bumblebee. So one way I also can watch with my kids and have fun with them. So we watched this one. Everyone was a big fan of it. I saw it in the theater with my son, and then my wife and daughter finally got to watch it. So real pleasant surprise that everybody kind of enjoyed. From there, I picked up some toys as well. First up, we got a StarLord. I'm fascinated by this one because I don't remember him wearing the scarf in the movie, but then you get the toy and he has this massive scarf that maybe it's in there. Maybe it's, I mean, I've seen the movie a bunch of times, but he's wearing the gray shirt that I have the shirt I wear in some of my videos from time to time, but you can't even see the definitive gray shirt that you recognize from the movie because this enormous scarf is blocking it. But I realized I wanted to get some more representation of the different franchises in my toys, and I didn't have a Guardian in the Legends series, so I saw him, the price was right, and then so I picked him up. Next one of these Legends figures that I picked up, this was my last purchase of the month, was proper Scott Lang Ant-Man. Now I already have an Ant-Man right over there, but it's not Hank Pym or Scott Lang. It's like the third one, Eric Gondry or something like that, and I don't know who that is. I haven't read those comics. I've read some of the stuff with Scott Lang and things like that, and of course I've seen the movies many times and enjoy Paul Rudd. And so when I saw this one, I was like, I've already got an Ant-Man. Should I get another one? I was like, yes, I've got the Wasp, so I can pair the two up properly. And I've got a Paul Rudd action figure now. How could you possibly say no to a Paul Rudd action figure? Answer, you can't. So there he is right there. Then we got a few of these Funkos that I picked up, actually the same day that I picked those ones, trying to get, once again, a few more people in the mix for different franchises that I talked about, and some of it prepping up for, Spider-Man Far From Home coming up, kind of lots of Spider-Man videos in June and July, so picked myself up an Iron Spider Funko. Just, the price was it was like under $10 on Amazon. I think I'll have the link down below for where I got this one, but price was like $6, $5, something like that. It's great. And he's an Iron Spider, and now I have a Spider-Man Funko. I almost actually bought a cup that they keep if you, I don't know if you try to collect these the way that I do, but I go to like Walgreens, Best Buy, Target to try and find them. You can get, like, I bought him on Amazon. That's not as nearly as much fun as the hunt to try and find out what they have. But for some reason, they always stock up on weird stuff, the weird version of everything. So I go to Best Buy when I picked up Independence Day, and they had 2 different Spider-Man of the Legends series. Which 2 did they have? Symbiote, pretty cool, but if I'm gonna get one Spider-Man, I don't want to go a Symbiote. Like, if I had one already, I was looking for an extra, that'd be a cool second one, but not as my first one. And then they had 6-arm Spider-Man. In which case, like, once again, that'd be my cool third one after the symbiote, after the regular one, but I don't want to start with 6-armed Spider-Man, and so then I was like, that was a little bit frustrating. I go to Target, they've got a whole different selection of them, that's where I got this guy, and once again, they've got Spider-Man, black symbiote suit Spider-Man, and 6-armed Spider-Man. Like, I don't know, why are all of you stocking up on the same obscure versions of these characters rather than the normal ones? So anyway, that's a long way to say that has nothing to do with this one, but I got Iron Spider, and he's not obviously the normal suit, but Iron Spider's a cool variation that's like right in line with the original one, whereas like 6-arm is like, that's a little bit weird. And then Symbiote makes people go, is that Venom? No, it's Symbiote Spider-Man. They're very related, but they are not the same thing. Then we've got Stormbreaker Groot. I'm not the biggest fan of new Groot. I like classic Groot. Baby Groot is fun, but with Stormbreaker, that's fun. And then when I've, of course, got my Stormbreaker right here, 2 Stormbreaker pals right next to each other, some nice additions. Finally, final pickup of the month, and I didn't pick this one up. My wife actually ordered it like in December. I think it was supposed to be here for like Christmas or something, and then it was long delayed. I don't know where she got this thing from. It's almost certainly dubious in nature, but dubious in nature does not change that it is also awesome in nature. Stan Lee with an Infinity Gauntlet, right there. Now that is a beautiful, beautiful thing right there to exist. So I'm pretty sure he will be making a number of appearances in my videos in the coming months. Be sure to share your pickups down below in the comment section. You can see my playlist of my other haul videos right over there in Blu-ray type stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching, and keep talking movies too much.